Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. Today I've got a special guest and that is Jackson from Carbon Brown. How you going, mate?
Hey, good, thanks. Nice to be on the show, Alex.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this chat. You got in touch with me the other day and wanted to talk about cold storage and custody, best practices. There's been lots of hacks going on lately. I think a lot of people are still unaware about where their KYC data exists on the internet and all these leaks we see. So what have you been noticing lately? Is it just the Cryptopia hack or is this a broader theme?
Yeah, so quite a few things happened recently. I think just in the last week, we had the Cryptopia hack. We had a KYC data breach. So there's someone selling I think 25,000 KYC photos from exchanges on the dark net for like a ridiculously low price. In conjunction with that, we had funds mismanagement from a Korean exchange, and then the BigRail hack, which happened a year ago, just today announced that they're finally going bankrupt and that they'll be closing down. So heaps of things going on in the poor custody side of things in the industry.
Yeah. So what are the best practices these days? We had proof of keys the other day and we spoke about people taking control, but what are the best practices whether someone's at home or if you're an exchange?
Yeah, so I'm sure everyone's heard this many times before, but for the individual, you obviously want to keep the majority of your funds on a cold storage device. And hardware wallet manufacturers have done an excellent job of making that process really accessible to the public. So for $150, you can get a Ledger or a Tracer, and it's just going to be so much value because wherever possible, you should be storing those assets in cold storage.
Yeah, and even now the Ledger Nano X that's coming out, guys, we've got those links in the description below, but they're just getting cheaper and better with the number of coins that they hold.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the exchange side, as an individual, right, even the CEOs of the exchanges will be saying this, exchanges are not places for you to store your cryptocurrencies. It's a place for you to hold the actively traded amount. So you want to deposit your assets onto the exchange, the amount that you actively trade, right? And then when you're done trading, you withdraw that back out into your cold storage locations.
Yeah, for those that are traders. So I think too many people, well, when we surveyed it, there was just a crazy percentage of people that still leave all their funds on those exchanges. So exchanges are in a bit of a conundrum, aren't they? They've got a bit of a conflict of interest as they want you on there and they want your money and they want you trading, but they don't necessarily always have the safest storage.
Yeah, so the reason why an exchange is not a place to store your crypto is because you have two competing interests, right? One is that in order for the exchange to get users on board, they need to list new coins and as fast as they possibly can, because if you're slower than the next exchange, you're not getting those users. On the other hand, the exchanges are also responsible for securing the client's assets, right? So now you have two competing interests. Do you want to increase the number of users on your platform, or do you want to maintain the security of your platform? Because every time you add a new coin, you add an additional layer of complexity to your platform, and that's another possible point of failure. So unfortunately, the market incentivizes those who prioritize the onboarding of users until a point of failure.
Yeah. So one of the ways to get around that is a DEX, and we've done tutorials on a few of these guys where you can plug in your hardware wallet and trade directly from that, and you see a lot of benefits from those DEXs.
Yeah, so the DEXs solve two problems actually, right? One is that you can plug in your MetaMask or hardware wallet, and you're signing your transaction directly from your Ledger or your MetaMask, and you'll never actually deposit funds and put them on that DEX, depending on the architecture of the specific decentralized exchange. The other thing is that you may not have to KYC on a DEX. This will depend on the jurisdiction from which that decentralized exchange is run, right? It's where the creators kind of incorporated the entity, basically. But you also you're not prone to the KYC data breaches.
And do you have any other thoughts on that? Because I know, I think it was Ether Delta, the founder, got in a lot of trouble long after the fact, and now we're seeing certain DEXs coming out from privacy-focused projects where the anonymous creators have remained anonymous. So do you have any thoughts on how that's all going to evolve?
I'm not sure how that's going to evolve, actually, because I know local Bitcoins. I believe you know, the creators, you know, need to remain anonymous because basically there's a legal argument about, you know, where is local Bitcoins run out of, and are you a digital currency exchange? And if you are, then you need to be KYCing all your customers, right? But the customers are also kind of transacting peer-to-peer, not actually on the exchange. So it's a curious question that the industry will have to solve. And another point I wanted to bring out on the DEXs is, right, they're going to be a fantastic thing in the future. We really need to move towards using DEXs as much as we can. But right now, there's not enough liquidity on the exchanges, and the user interface is just not quite there, right? The two main problems we're facing with DEXs right now is that you are quite prone to the failure of stablecoins, because you don't have the banking infrastructure supporting it. And the other thing is that there's just low liquidity from people not using it enough. Now, what a solution right now is to trade with OTC desks, just like Caleb and Brown, because as part of the order process, we require a wallet address from you. So when you make a purchase, you're sending us money, and when the wire clears in our bank account, we send you the Bitcoin straight away, and you're not actually using it as a storage location.
So if people have been affected by these hacks, there is action they can take from a tax standpoint?
Yes. So one of the things we really wanted to do for the community is make sure that everyone's making the most of a horrible situation. So if you've been affected by the Cryptopia hack, or any other exchange hack for that matter, you can give your accountant a call or give us a call. We've got an in-house crypto accountant, and we can help you assess whether or not you can offset those losses. As an example, the BitGrail exchange that was hacked like a year ago has just gone bankrupt, or announced bankruptcy today, and announced that they're closing down the exchange. So investors who lost money there will be able to offset that against their taxes, right? And it could be, you know, tens of thousands of dollars that you could be saving, rather than, you know, getting hacked and then paying additional taxes when you didn't need to be.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of people, well, the feedback that I've got, a lot of people are sitting on losses after this bear market, and it's still important to record that, particularly if you're planning on making some profits in the future, to offset that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Any final thoughts today, mate? I do appreciate everything you guys do for the space.
That's it for me. I'm just happy to provide some insight wherever I can and chat to the community.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today, mate.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys.